Video game. Glad I'm doing it at like 8 o'clock at night. Gonna be good. We're gonna talk about something. It's gonna be nice. And we're gonna learn some stuff. Be a learned professor by the time I'm done. Won't you join me? We can talk about stuff. We can discuss things. 'Tis all. Want to start a conversation? If you wanna converse or conversate, as the kids say, then we can do this. Check.
Hey.
Okay, I'm getting in another car. Yay, another car. Let's see, what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about, a topic or something? Let's see here. I talked earlier about, I wanted to say something. Oh, that's right, I can't go through here every single time I run into that wall. And alright, let's go a different way.
That's some luck right there.
Son of a
Well,
bitch.
fuck this. My car.
Alright. Yes, motorcycle. That's what I was looking for. Oh, tight! It slid up right next to me. Like a boss. Yay. But yeah, what do I want to talk about today? Talked about self-control last time, and then we trailed off and talked about something else. These are my game therapy rants. I'm not really talking about a one topic at a time, so. Alright, happens every single time I burp. It smells like shellfish. I got fish oil supplements, so that's that fish oil, man. Son of a bitch. I freaking wanted to jump the back of that thing. Oh, played it off. But yeah, let's see. Let's think about something that's happening. Something that's going on. Son of a bitch.
You kids didn't stare at your phones all day.
Son of a bitch. Did not even touch the ground. That was awesome. I am touching my mic again. Okay, let's think about it. Let's think about this. Boundaries. Responsibility. I think within every certain person we have a responsibility to be sociable, I guess, but also in that same sense to adhere to a certain set of rules.
Man, fuck this shit.
And those rules are it's like, I don't know, I don't get it sometimes because people are like, it's like people use the words like people use the words lightly sometimes that like I don't really get. Like, let's talk about boundaries. This is the reasons why I don't look into a person's life, I guess. The reasons why I fantasize, I guess. Moreover, whenever I'm looking into like a potential relationship, I fantasize. Like, I think about what that person means to me, I guess, at that certain given point. Even though that person doesn't mean much sometimes, but what I would do if that person meant more to me. And within those boundaries of me fantasizing about all those other different things, because that's it, completely within my own head, basically, not even thinking about what I would actually say to that person, or I'm just spitballing sometimes whenever I say that I'm in a certain situation, I guess. But in that certain situation, what would I say or do? And I guess I try to say that I would do the more honorable thing. And people don't really understand why I go through those things. They don't understand that, like maybe you shouldn't be intrusive on other people's, like maybe you shouldn't imagine that stuff. Maybe you should just keep those thoughts to yourself, you know? And that's valid, but it's not what I'm gonna do. But I always think about like what oh, that person needed me to freaking hit him in the, come on, there we go. All right, here we go. Here he is. So I could take his motorcycle. There we go. There he is. God damn.
Would you come on, damn?
But yeah, I'd say that, like, within those certain boundaries, within the boundaries of my own mind, I guess, I come up with what I would be as far as a person to them, or and like, I guess what I see sometimes, and what I don't see, I guess, can affect my personal thoughts, I guess, and how I see that person, you know, or how I want to, or how I choose to see that person.
Bitch ass bullshit.
Yes, bitch ass bullshit, Franklin. Exactly, my point. And it is, but just bitch ass bullshit. It is definitely just bullshit in my head, but it's my bullshit, you know. Oh, landed it. I think that it's right. It's like I choose to think about that person in a certain way, like whether it be completely and utterly degrading to them. I mean, I don't know what their standards are, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but I mean, when I'm thinking about just really picking up a woman and just having fun and doing stuff, I'm not exactly. The thought doesn't. The thought does occur to me, like in the action, it does. It occurs to me, like it occurs to me that that person has needs and wants and the fantasy though. I think it's like I don't put that much thought into it because the only reason why I don't put that much thought into it is because I don't exert that much energy trying to think about what they're thinking about because they don't think about me at all, obviously. It's like the more I think about it, the more it becomes absurd, and the more I try to delve into what they actually think, the more absurd I feel. And
Hey, roll up.
the more absurd I feel for forever questioning the situation and not going about my day normally.
Fuck.
And we are gonna run into this dude because I thought that was a faster car. God damn it. I always thought that it would be easier to talk to someone who you admire. To go up to them and say, "Oh my God, that's really cool." To you, just like it's like anyone, you know, like or anyone that you've thought about in compromising situations. And it's not easy at all. It's like really, really hard to do. It's like it's like I guess when it feels hard because my dad kind of had a hard time talking to people sometimes. He can be very short with people, like, and he's not a short man, which is really kind of off-putting sometimes. I guess the real reason why I kind of the real reason why I don't think that my heroes or that the people that I admire or that the people that I think about in compromising situations because I admire them so much. The reasons why I think like that is because I'm afraid that that person won't be everything that I thought they were, or the things that they say don't have that much weight with them. Like I think they mean it to, you know? It's like everyone decides they want to sound like a certain kind of person whenever they're coming up with a character or whenever they're doing something inside their mind, and they don't associate the thoughts that I associate with a tone of a certain tone of voice or with a certain tone of things or even a certain theme. It's like I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of. I see what I would call heroes or admire things or people, and I literally say the most abrupt and stupid shit that I can possibly think of, and I fanboy the fuck out sometimes, and I embarrass myself. So I kind of want that to be like, I don't want like
This don't make no fucking sense.
but in that lies the boundaries that people see and people know about. It's like it's like the boundaries that you see everyone with. It's like even within not only someone you don't admire, but someone you could admire. Like eventually, or maybe if things were different, or maybe if like, it's like I run around with a fantasy in my head so many hours out of the day. I run through so many different scenarios in my own brain, and put myself through so much trauma sometimes that I can actually, what's the word? Overthink completely everything, and obviously, but I mean that's in a way the way that I think, and if a certain person wasn't willing to accept me for that certain reason, because I think or overthink things, or maybe wanted to admire me because of that reason, then I don't find that person I don't find that person attractive, or not attractive, but admirable, worthy, I guess. Like I fell in love with what they thought was a character, or what they thought was a thing. I fell in love with a character or an idea inside my own head, and then that idea became what I actually thought that person was, when in actuality that person was never in that state of mind.
Citizens report a 503 north of...
And not just with like with my heroes or people that I see in acting jobs or anything like that. It has a reality to do, like, to see, like, if you see a person like one of your absolute heroes, they could be like a multi-billionaire amazing person who does so many amazing things for humanity, or fixes things, or tries to create cold fusion, or tries to like help the environment in some way, shape, or form, or basically can like I don't know, like
You gotta watch out, fool.
just like anyone that you would find to be that epitome of oh my god, that person is amazing and I want to be like them every single second of the day, or I want to delve into what they delve into and see the reasons why they come up with the stuff that they come up with. What you come up with is literally what you come up with, not what they came up with. And
Suspect doing 90 miles per hour.
And boundaries, as far as that goes, is it's like you don't want to actually see the real person sometimes. You don't want to actually notice the real person. You want to notice the things that you liked about that person, because that person means that much to you that it keeps you going sometimes. And
Dispatch, we got eyes on the target, moving to engage.
it's not like you would, and there's a moped guy. Alright, it's not like you would,
Officers report a 505 near, the Polish.
it's not like you would really find, I'd say a real reason to actually become a part of that person's life, or a part of that person's, like, repertoire, or if they really like the stuff that you did, then you would like, oh my god, that's more of a fantasy, but
Graphite sports utility vehicle.
but also realizing that that's sometimes the reasons why you get back into stuff, or the inspiration behind different things, or the inspiration behind different people, behind different nuances of
Units reporting.
it's like
505. Close
you're
to,
not sure about what they
Captain
like,
Creek Bridge.
but you're sure that you like them. It's like the same way of going into a relationship in some ways, but also too, I mean, you have to distinctively put barriers between those distinctions, or put barriers between those distinctions, and realize that no, that's not exactly it. But a professional relationship nonetheless. And even if you really consider yourself to be a part, or to want to be a part of that person's life, or you really consider yourself like wow, if I only had my shit together, you know, or if I only cleaned my room every single time I said so, or every single time I wanted to, or every single time I felt like it, you know, it's like maybe I'd be able to like run with the best of them or something like that, or fabricate with people that you would really want to, like the people who made the sets for like The Shining, or the coolest stuff, like people, I don't know, it just, I have a dream of becoming like a really cool artist dude, and not just Hollywood, but in a real sense,
We have a visual on the target.
make a really good product, and see that product be seen by millions of people. And that's a really, really valid dream that I think of all the time. And I know that I'm not the only person that's going to have to work on it for it to be a valid dream, like a dream that comes true, basically. And but also too, I think that the boundaries we set forth for ourselves, it can get in the way of what we see every day. And damn it, I just grew up. But it can get in the way of goals that we put in front of ourselves every day. And daydreaming isn't going to make me better of a person. It's going to make my vision better, or what I think is, or it's like at the end of, not at the end of the day, it's like at the beginning of the day, before I start daydreaming at all, I realize, and I set forth this like memory that like none of this really means anything, and you know you're just going through this so you can write something down or draw something on a piece of paper. And it's like I put myself through so much to be able to try to come up with new ideas, and boy, does everyone have a great idea that coincides with my great idea. Because I find so many different terminologies that happen just to screw me over. Not really screw me over, but and that's valid for them to be able to have those things. And even if they are copying my thing, or if I'm copying them and inadvertently copying them, more power to them. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's just, I'll just have to tweak my idea a little bit, you know? I love
Hey, you got off lucky, homie.
yes. Okay, I need to put that off now. God dang it. Alright. But yeah, I think that sometimes I, through those boundaries, or through those fantasies, I guess, sort of start to come to a fruition of reality, that an actual realizable dream comes through sometimes, and like I get motivated, and I get to be able to do stuff, and I get to be able to put stuff on paper, or I don't that day. And also, too, I have no freaking good art supplies sometimes. I have to scrounge my last dollar sometimes and scrounge up for art supplies. And I don't want to get those boxes because I know that they could eventually decide whether or not I'm actually being a part of that whole scheme. Like, it's like, oh, now that you're got this, then you get this other box that we got. It's great. And I'm just like, no, I already get shirts, and they're not that great sometimes. All right, but but it's like it's really it just, oh man, there's so much product value, I guess, or product placement that and I'm not saying that it's bad, because sometimes it can be very good. People want to try to villainize what product placement is, or people are like, I don't villainize anything. It's advertising. It can be fun sometimes, and you can make fun of it too, because it may keep it in the forefront of your brain, but you're not gonna, like, just because you have it in the forefront of your brain doesn't mean you're gonna constantly think about it, or constantly do it, or constantly do something that you saw on a commercial all the time. It's because if we all just did that, then we'd realize that no, we don't, because we did things before there were commercials. If people are assuming that they have existed before commercials actually did exist. We existed before, or humanity existed. I didn't exist, but I was just a little epitome of an idea. But I guess I'm cynical sometimes when I push myself, or when I try to push myself. And I know that I can be like in those kind of fantastical places that I go to in my own mind to try to validate myself, or validate myself in any way, or validate another person, I guess. I realized that most of the time I wind up putting myself down, or another person down, and inadvertently sometimes I don't realize what I'm doing. And whenever it comes to boundaries or people that I care about, I don't want to push them away, you know? I really don't want to. And I realize that most of the time I'm fighting a losing battle when it comes to people in my life sometimes, and I don't. It's not a depression, I guess. It's a lack of reward from expectation. From over expectation, I guess. And trying to find out all these new people that I've seen, and whether or not they want to collaborate or do something, or just be fun people, you know? Or I mean, because that's why I don't beat a lot of people, because they wind up saying that, oh, the world revolves around this and this and this, and I'm just like, dude, you didn't have to make it all like that. Like, you didn't have to make it a lesson for me to share with someone. I'm gonna start. We're taking notes right now, sir. But the world revolves around people and goods and services, and I already know that. But and no, it doesn't always have to revolve around money, because people have done without it for centuries, millennia, and eons actually, and they didn't do anything with it. Eons they lived without money, and I'm not saying that I've more experience because of that, but I'm also saying that I'm sure that I'll find a way. That's what I mean. no matter what my dreams or aspirations or goals are, I really think that I have a good head on my shoulders, and I realize the amount of a dollar. Do you realize the amount of a dollar? It's whatever they say it is, because whatever you say it is. Sometimes whatever it's backed by. So that's the amount of a dollar. That's the real amount of a dollar. That's the value of a dollar. It's whatever you say it is, if you have the stuff to back it up. Realize that. Always realize that. Every single day, realize that. But also in the same sense, if you can't back it up, and if you don't have the paperwork to back it up, then it'll be a lot harder. I'm just saying. Because when you have a coin from a desert ship, or down a deserted ship, and that deserted ship was like, oh my god, I need an appraiser to come in and appraise all my gold. Yes, that is what they do. That's what all of them did. Even if it was stolen. And then, when they did that, I'm gonna go catch this train. Son of a bitch. Alright, yeah. Tastes like fishy. Tastes like sushi, actually. Like, it does taste bad, but I have to think about the taste, but it tastes like warm imitation crab meat. Yum. Alright, but yeah, let's see here. The more you realize where your fantasies and boundaries and realities and all those other things fit into your life, I think the more you'll be able to realize that those fantasies are for you to create. Whenever you're an actual creator, you can create. But also realize that the more you make assumptions on something, like what people want to see or how people want to see something, the more you make assumptions on something, the more you'll realize that you're pigeonholing yourself into something that is nothing like what you thought it would be. Like nothing like you thought the world would be around you. But understandably so, if you pick and prod at the world around you, you'll start to realize that it's going to pick and prod back. I mean, it's pretty much alive. And I mean, what are our definitions of what is alive? Like, it's like, oh, the carbons have to be moving at a certain pace and blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but they're moving still. They're still there. They're still working it up. It's like you take a hydrogen atom. Where did that hydrogen atom come from? Did it come from a rock? Did it come from the air? Did it come from water? Because hydrogen molecules are pretty much everywhere sometimes, and also they can be liquid, solid state, or a bunch of different kinds of state. And I'm gonna run into that water. Oh my god, that was awesome! Oh yeah, I'm doing it big. It's pretty awesome. I feel really great. All right. I don't feel that great. That's fine. But yeah, realizing that you're realizing that your fantasies have boundaries, and you are the one that dictates those boundaries. But once those fantasies start becoming a part of another person's life, they start becoming a reality, and really, like, you have to check yourself, and you have to check where you're going with a certain fantasy or a certain reality or a certain way of your life, because though it can always run into someone else's reality. And if it does run into someone else's reality, then you're gonna have to start realizing that that if you're a part of that person's reality now, then you have to start weighing things, and you have to start realizing that sometimes the best of ideas can be the worst of ideas to them. But that's the point of what I actually felt like realizing, or felt like pushing towards myself. I never found out certain things in my life until they were either too late, or because I was always the last to know. Because I'm always the guy that does things for people, and if they find out, if I find out that they did something that was douchey to me, or said something douchey about me, like I don't like to go to parties, or and in that sense I don't, of people that I don't know. Like if I don't know you and you're throwing a party, then I'd be like more like not really wanted to go that much. But if I know you and stuff like that, and you're throwing a party, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that's cool. I mean, I know you. Like, you wouldn't draw me astray, or bring me to like a desert and steal my kidneys and put me in an ice bucket or an ice basket or something. I don't know, ice something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, I guess. But I'm also realizing that that as I talk, I guess, and the more I'm saying stuff, the more I'm realizing that the more I'm realizing that my fantasies are what I wish were my realities sometimes. And then I have to realize and evaluate my reality. And that sometimes can help. Realize that, I guess, looking in comic books and looking about different things and studying different people's artwork and patterns and what they do and how they do it, and it's been a definite inspiration to me. I was like, I can do that. When I was 5 years old, I literally said that, and I started doodling and doing a bunch of different stuff and drawing and doing as much as I could. Every single year my mom would get me for Christmas or for winter solstice man, I call it winter solstice. Mom calls it Christmas, but I don't care, because I don't really give a shit about Jesus. It just never mattered to me. The book itself was like, it's a book. It's like, I don't know, but it never really mattered to me, and it never really will. It means more to me when a person is good as they want to be. Like, if they want to be good, and yes, I am amazing. I'm landing on my feet. Damn it. That was really cool. It means more to me when a person like accepts me into their life than saying that it has my back. Any book, doesn't matter whether it's peaceful or violent or any sort of thing. Like I'll desecrate your enemies and blah 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 blah. It's like, you're still a book. You're still a book, and words never jumped off the pages and shot someone for you that was right behind you with a knife, or you know, like, it doesn't sit well with me sometimes when people actually say that they can trust and know that their Christianity will save them, or the way that they believe or the way that they think will save them, instead of, you need some survival techniques, or at least a little bit of survival skills, you know, like learning how to make a fire, you know, or that stuff, or some marshmallows every once in a while, be able to siphon and boil your own water, because you're gonna need that if you don't have any. if there's no bottled water around. You're gonna learn how to like, if you get in a plane crash or something like that, you gotta like first assess your surroundings. If you're in a cold environment, don't go, don't explore. If you're in a warm environment, try to build a fire immediately. If you're in a cold environment, try to build a fire immediately. It's like, I don't know. I wasn't an Eagle Scout or a Boy Scout or anything like that, but I mean, I was for like, I'd say a month. But I realized that I kind of like the idea of surviving like on my own. So like, sometimes it was cool. It was fun.
That hurt.
And I didn't need a whole bunch of people around me to do it. So my dad actually took us snipe hunting, and that was just us learning how to manage in the brush sometimes. And he took us every summer. So he took us at least doing something every summer, at least. And that was cool. I realized a lot of times that that the more I started to submerge myself into a fantasy, or into what I would call a fantasy, or what I would call a non-reality, I guess. It made me think about more possibilities, and or more positive possibilities, and those positive possibilities made me think about wanting to better myself in some way, shape, or form, like to try to learn a new language, or try to get myself to learn something, you know, like just rubbing two twigs together. How does that make a fire? I don't know. I'll usually need to like not like get wet. You know, that's the first thing, because it doesn't matter if you're like, oh, I grew a beard like you said I could. It's like everybody wants to look like that reminds me of stuff like how many people want to look like they've been out the outdoors for like 2 months. It gets to me, man. I was like, do you know what you're doing to your hair follicles, your skin follicles, by oh, I'm putting tonics in it and stuff like that. It's like, or like I'm putting like, do you know what that amount of lotion or that amount of like beard goo, beard stuff there is? It's like there's skin follicles building and building on top of what you're actually doing, and you can get groomed as much as you want to, but those skin follicles are still going to be there. Those skin things are just going to be like, yeah, and you're going to get like these weird, freaking like chin, not bumps, but literally like, oh man, dude, there's so many. Well, see, that's what happens whenever I do a wheelie and do go really fast. Everybody wanted to be like freaking, oh my gosh, man, I don't get it. It's like you want to commemorate someone, or commemorate someone's life or something like that. You can draw a lightning bolt on your head, and like that's cool and everything like that, but eventually that goes out of style, and there's only a couple people doing it. You know, it's like eventually that stuff all runs out of style. It's like they say that like, oh, we're gonna keep it alive, or keep his memory alive and stuff like that, and you'll see the people that are keeping the memory alive, like the people that are making you remember it. And with any sort of fad or anything like that, is you have to understand is that man sat in a chair and got his makeup done a bunch of times by a bunch of different makeup stylists. So maybe you should be like you should kind of like realize that there was a team behind every single one of those pop stars. They had marketing people. They had a whole bunch of different things. Like, granted, and granted, some of the songs that I've heard, I mean, not to say that they're bad or anything like that, because I still like them. but they're not the best artwork that I've ever heard of, you know? It's like there's some of them they could have tried a lot harder. They could have done a lot better, and they could have fit at least a few lyrics in some of the verses that they had. Da 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 da. You know? Just went along with the beat and didn't even say a word, you know? Some people were on some massive drugs probably, but those massive drugs led to what people would say was the copying of different rhythms of cultural beats and different things like that, of what people thought of. Like, people were just trying new different things out that they thought would be cool or fun. And I guess that's what people are actually thinking about, is what makes it cool, or what makes it fun to do, I guess. And damn it, I just ran into a tree.
This don't make no fucking sense.
I think the more people the more people were trying to build off something, the more people, I guess, wouldn't even realize that, like, there were people that were making music everywhere all the time. And everyone wants like a theme or like a thing that they could just build off of, or say something is the way that it is, you know? It's like, it's just like, that's the dude that created the world, or he inspired a generation, or, you know, all that stuff. It's just like there were people creating stuff everywhere. And that's what people don't get, is like people were feeding off of other people's ideas. That's how a real, like, if you really want to think about it, that's how capitalism works. That's how a democratic republic works sometimes. And it literally, it does, because there are so many people behind the scenes pushing everything that they really want onto so many different people, making so many different deals to where they can actually do things. Like, you know, there's like so many different parts of the day. Oh, I want that car. I want that car. God damn it. Alright, but
Bitch.
I think that what, oh man, I think that the way that people think about boundaries and think about different things like that is sometimes people need their own boundaries sometimes, and damn it. Sometimes people need their own boundaries, you know? And I found sometimes that the more boundaries we keep with ourselves, the more boundaries that other people keep away from us, or the more boundaries we exhume about ourselves, and the more boundaries we let people know about. It's just like, no, everything's cool until you say something that's stupid, or everything's cool until you say something that's fucked up, or say something that nobody has ever heard of before. And then everybody looks at you differently. It's like, if you were actually cool, then you'd be like, hey, I don't really give a shit. Everyone says what they say. It doesn't change my view about what something is. Is being sensitive about something more insensitive to someone else? Or being secure in what you believe in and realizing that someone else's opinion doesn't make or break yours, or what they say doesn't make or break your yes, awesome. What they say doesn't make or break your day, I guess, you know? And I got this freaking motorcycle, yeah. The more I've realized my own central maturity, the more I've tried to exhume like what I've built and say that, you know what, I made this whole thing and I think it's cool. And then, you know, you see it in other things and you're just like, wow, it's really cool. It's just like, Did I inspire that, or did they just come up with that on their own? They probably came up with it on their own. Who really even gives a shit? Doesn't matter. I don't care, because I know that that I'm secure in myself, and then that my idea, even if it changes, will stand by itself because it's interesting. When you can say and have that much confidence about what you really truly want to do, then that's when you have something. That's when you have someone's attention. And if you have that person's attention, what do you do with that person's attention? Do you wow them? Do you make them? Do you butter them up to buy something? Or do you build a reputation? Do you build something so where that if any brand becomes a part of you, they know that they're always getting something, some sort of show or some sort of thing. Do you build upon yourself, I guess, and then let everyone know that you're the head honcho, and then say that all these things are happening because of me and reasons? Well, oh my gosh. You know, it's just I've always shit. Like I've said, there are so many different choices to make, and it's just like you really wish that people would make more choices in their life. And I really wish that people would make more choices. But instead of, you know, like, again, I think that me judging a certain, what's the word? A certain era of people, or a certain, maybe like a local generality. It makes me sad to see myself do that, you know? Like I can sadly say that there are no real reasons for the things that we do. There aren't any real reasons, but other than the fact that we're bored. And if people really want to make those, I'd say, those leaps of fantastic, fantastic jumps of amazingness, they're gonna have to realize that there is a real want for them to be the best person that they could possibly be. And it has nothing to do with the army or anything like that. It has everything to do with the situations and the people that really need to be. And there's so many things that I've seen in my own life that have made me say, you know what, that's really, really amazing, and that's really profound. And now there's more people, there's more things in the world that have said, oh, I'm profound too, and you should respect me for that. And also, like, that's great, that's awesome. And then there are people that say, I must be respected because I've been taken advantage of in my class of citizen or anything like that, and that's extremely valid. But come up with something original. Literally, come up with something that no one else has ever done. And do some, and when you do something, realize that if you're on the verge of breaking every single time you go to set or to your work or anything like that, realize that you're not in the right profession, and you don't need to be bent to anyone's will to be able to say that, oh, I made it. No, you didn't make it. That person made you. And what you really need to realize is I'm not trying to thwart, I guess, what people would call a new brand of feminism, I guess. I'm saying that, or even try to thwart what people would call our masculinism, I guess. But I'm also saying that people do things for shock value sometimes. They do it for you to dislike it. They do it for you. When someone say someone needs a census bureau on someone's opinions, an opinion poll, someone will come in and they'll be like, but all Native Americans, they drink Kool-Aid, or all black people eat too much bologna. No. They say it's a tactic. It's an obvious tactic for an opinion poll to see how many people will get outraged and say, "Oh my God, that's not correct. They've never said that before, and I don't think that that's real." and then they'll go to a different ethnic group, or because everyone's ethnic, no matter what. Everyone is an ethnic. Okay, ethnic is just different varieties. To what people would call ethnic food is ethnic. We're ethnic to their ethnic.
Charlie 4 here. We're in the air and on our way.
It's just unfamiliar. That's what it means, basically. So basically,
Suspect eastbound on a,
it's like everybody has like American food. It's like American cheese. Did you know that that's an ethnic food? It's like, yeah, and like friggin' in like Thailand or something. But it's like, oh man, it's just people think that they're the only people that come up with their own ideas. Sometimes it's just, I don't know. I don't try to judge, but also you realize that you have to make those choices. Like, oh my gosh, you have to make those choices varied, and you have to realize that those situations, and when you're truly come under attack, all you have to do is walk away. When you truly do come under attack from someone who pushes you to do something you don't want to do, in a situation where you stand to lose a bunch of money, lose the money. Because they'll lose it too. They'll lose it for you not being there. And that's worth more to anyone than staying in a place that could possibly ruin you. Don't boycott them. You don't have to boycott anything they do. Because if they're everywhere, then whatever. Don't worry about it. Because they'll eventually fade out like everyone else does. That's constantly pushing themselves to the brink of their own mental and physical fortitude. Realize that they'll fade out. Realize that they'll completely fade out. And no, you don't need to extort money from them for blackmail or any other reasons. Because don't do it. It's dumb. You'll go down with them too, and people will think of you as a worse person than the person who had actually done a bunch of things. Because people have opinions, whether people want them to have opinions or not. Realize that boundaries mean everything, but it's also for the people that are being the victimized. Realize that the people sometimes have to realize that they have boundaries as well. And I've seen it sometimes in people who just stay in the wrong fucked up relationship and think that a healthy dose of arguing is probably what you deserve in some way, shape, or form. No, it's not. It isn't. It never has been. If you don't really feel like arguing with someone, you can walk upstairs and be like, you know what? I'm eventually going to leave this person, and I want to tell them in an honest and true way. But I don't do that sometimes. I fuck up and say stupid shit, and they put rumors around town, and then I walk away, and then they assume that They assume that that I'm just a terrible person, and I can be that terrible person because as long as it means that I don't have to deal with their bullshit. Because their bullshit meant that I had to go do artwork in a shed, and I don't fucking care about that shit. I want to do artwork in not a shed because it's messy, and that's the reason why they call it art. Because it imitates life. Life is messy. I don't want to do it in a shed. And even more so, I don't want to be belittled sometimes whenever I have a mental thought or a mental fart or a mental, you know, it's just... And those are my boundaries. So, realize that everyone has them. But sometimes people don't follow them whenever there is a real situation on their hands. Like whenever there's a, it's, oh my god, that guy's got a gun. Holy shit, that dude's got a gun. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna walk past him. Make sure he doesn't point it at me immediately. You know? It's just like, you have to realize that every little ounce of what people push when a society constantly picks itself apart can be seen as literally a gun. Your voice can be heard and literally manipulate a certain marketplace, and people invest their money in that marketplace, and they get mad when they have to reinvest and do all that work over and over again. So it's stupid. It's dumb, and those people, I guess, should probably find a new way to work, because it's probably going to happen a lot now that everyone always does stupid shit, like... But also to realize that there are some people that are good out there, that their intentions when they made a certain product was to help people get out there and be able to be heard and be able to be picked up by certain places. Realize that that's basically what people didn't realize about what I guess YouTube and all those other different this platform, Twitch, any one of those places, what they actually do for people is they give them a stepping stone to be able to go to different companies and to be able to make a footprint in what they really want to make sometimes. And not just a judgmental videos that push stereotypical reviews in any direction or whatsoever. Like whether you're insensitive to someone's religious views, or whether you're insensitive to someone else's the way that someone else does something, like including YouTube, because there's been a lot of that lately, and it's dumb to me that people are like, well, I don't think they should do this way. And she's like, well, then talk to them. No, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of talking to them, instead of making a letter to them and saying all those things, or actually getting my friends to sign a petition, like maybe 1,000 of people or 3,000 to 5,000 people saying that all these things need to be changed, and petition them. Don't just judge them remotely and say that, oh, this needs to be changed. I need to change this now. Petition them. Don't just, you'll get a lot more attention if you do it more responsibly. You'll get a lot more attention, and people will start to realize that millennials aren't just little piss ants. Because that's what old people think. And that's why they won't give up the goddamn money anymore, because they think they will do shit stupid with it and then lose it in another country somewhere, and they'll have to print more, and then a whole bunch of people will be like, nope, you can't do that. You can't steal from our children and then give them like terrible things, and then, yeah, you can't do that. Because literally that's what people do. It's just like, it's fucking insane. It's like, I laugh all the time because they're like, people need economies, you know? It's just like, you can't just be like, oh, I need Bitcoin now. It's stupid, man. It's just like, oh man, I can't. people really are jumping to a lot of different currencies at the same time sometimes. And they don't realize that when they jump to different currencies, those currencies themselves retain the value of what they actually get. But sometimes in the same sense, they'll lose that value just as quickly if that person jumps back and forth between different things. And also, it has a lot to do with money marketing, money market trading.
I've been better. I lost my son.
So you can trade a good that's worth a whole bunch of money in another country, and then retrade that amount of money to another country, and say that this money is worth more. Why don't you keep it in your banks? Because that's what a lot of countries do. It's what a lot of different countries do. They're like, hey, we're going to trade this to a different country because they value it more than we do. And then we're going to go to the money markets. We're going to go say, okay, how much is this worth to this? And then we're going to buy different goods in that currency. But then we're going to trade them out our currency, and then our currency will actually be in a different country, and that will be the basis on which we value our currency off of. So when you realize that, like, oh man, when you realize that, like, there's so many boundaries that actually dictate whether or not people themselves will start a new business, or will base their value off of what they do, and within a whole bunch of different people that, like, within a whole bunch of different people within a whole bunch of different people that push a certain value for what you actually want, or a value of what you actually need, as far as your natural resources like water, sand, because sand is worth a lot when in huge portions. See all those, like not to say that, man, it's like I'm not trying to, like, target anyone or anything like that, but see all those dirt trucks and stuff like that. If more people gave a shit about how much dirt that is leaving New Orleans or is leaving bigger cities, if people more gave a shit about how much the dirt is actually worth, then people would literally be making money hand over fist. Or people are making money hand over fist, and literally no one's just saying anything about it. There are so many markets out there that literally deserve people's attention. And so many markets out there that could get you, like, so much richness. Like, literally, in your hand, cash money now. Like, literally, the bottle market could literally make you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Literally, that's all you would have to do every single day, is just take trucks and trucks and trucks of recycled, broken down bottles to different plants, and literally you'd make hand over fist money if you had maybe 5 or 6 different trucks. All you'd have to start off with is about maybe $20,000. Get one truck, keep running them. You'd have to do, like, maybe, and that's it. You could work for yourself and do whatever you wanted to do. You can make whatever you wanted to make. Literally, even completely ignoring whatever's going on in the entire economy. You don't have to make Bitcoin to be. You don't have to be on Bitcoin to be completely independent from the system. You could be building your own economy in months, M-O-T-H-N-S, M-O-N-T-H-N-S. I don't know, M-O-N-T-H-S, months, not months in this. I just spelled it wrong, but you can do so much just in a completely, and like you'd be able to make your own money, and you'd be completely and utterly independent from anyone else's bullshit, because you'd have a certain amount of give, I guess. But also too, you have to realize that some of that stuff is actually, like, being shipped to other countries because people don't know how to recycle it sometimes. And if there were people, hey, how's it going, viewer? If you want to message me, you can. I'm talking about systems. I started talking about fantasies and boundaries, and now I'm talking about making your own economy. Not to say that, and that in itself is basically the American dream. You have to realize that there are so many different things out there. How's it going, man? Is that what are you are you Spanish or of Spanish descent? I guess I'm not, or Latin descent. There are so many different ways to make yourself independent and be able to make yourself independent. And okay, cool. You're you. That's good. I'm glad. Oh, Spanish. Oh, cool. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna see if I can jump into the military base and steal the jet. This is what I do, and I talk about stuff. But yeah, there are so many ways to actually make yourself a whole bunch of money without ever lifting up anything. You don't speak English? Okay, well, I don't speak any other language, but you can watch me, shoot, because I don't speak any. I can read Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. Or at least for the most part. Oh shit.
Hey, come on, move!
Oh, this is a really cool plane. Alright, I don't speak a lot of... Oh, shit. God damn it, I'm gonna die. Alright, but yeah. Okay, well, basically, I'm kind of saying that, that you can make a very, very hefty living. Alright, cool. See you, man. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, but yeah, you don't have to be a part of a growing economy of something. You can make your own. That's literally what it's. People don't realize this is. They don't realize it sometimes, and also, I mean, and also, when there's more competition out there, sometimes prices get competitive, and it's a good thing sometimes. You have to realize that it's not only the amount of money that they're making. And if a market is honest out there, because it's hard sometimes to find an honest market, and that honest market can sometimes whatchamacallit, it can change over time. Really, it really can. But yeah, but realize when you do find an honest market and find an honest wage or an honest payment of something, you can make so much money. You can literally pick up candy wrappers for a living and make, I'd say, $50,000 to $60,000. I mean, if you have a like all those dudes that are picking up trash and shipping it out somewhere, like. This is New Orleans, so I'm in New Orleans. So there's Mardi Gras, and it's coming up soon. People don't know how much trash that New Orleans and Mardi Gras create, and that creates a market sometimes. I don't know how to speak Spanish. No habla español. No. I can speak it well, but I can't speak a lot. Muy poquito español es en habla muy poquito español. I can read it. Swear, dang it.
Don't make no fucking sense. Hey, you ain't
We're
well,
gonna
homie. Let's get you up out
we're gonna do trabajo, misión, uh, yay! I'm gonna go. There's so many people that make money from doing like literally nothing. Like they could be just picking up one screw out of an old thing or no GTA. Bomb Squad is a game for yeah. No, it's
Watch out, man.
it's my game for my name for Call of Duty. I like to blow things up in Call of Duty a lot, and also defuse the bomb and terrorist, and or defuse the bomb in different games that I played. I'm gonna see if I can keep this trailer attached and jump some reps. All right. But yeah, is that a question or a statement? Are you asking if I play games on my phone?
Man, fuck this shit.
Oh, nice name. Yeah, okay. Thank you, man. I am trying to get it, but it's Joe Bomb Squad, so it's not just Bomb Squad. I'm gonna get it TM'd or something like that. I'm not gonna sue anyone. I'm just gonna get the rights to the name. Cool, thanks, man. It's awesome. All right, let's see if I can jump something or actually, you know what? Here we go. There we go. I'm gonna find a huge car. There we go.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my god!
There we go.
Hey, let me borrow that rock. Christ alive! See, oh my god! What?
All right. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and dang it!
Citizens report.
All right, I'm gonna do this in a more
996
crowded area.
on
How much money do I have?
Highway.
Fuck, dude! Oh crap, that hurt.
But yeah,
Ocean 1, we can get that.
Citizens report FDD.
ah, dang it! All right. You can thank you for the sub, and if you want to have a conversation with me with my broken Spanish and your English, you can if you want to. So yeah, I decided a long time ago that I was gonna make I was gonna give myself some borders and some roundabouts. And also I was gonna stop fantasizing about people, because that's not what they would want. But also too, I have to realize that within the confines of my own brain, I can pretty much I don't want to say do whatever I want, because I'm confined by reality. I'm not gonna say that people float in the air when Yeah, that'll be actually pretty cool. Hold on a second. Okay, let me see if I can get a faster car.
Come on, man!
Here we go. There's a motorcycle. Awesome. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
There we go. Alright, yeah. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break myself from a fantasy. La fantasía es muy mal. Like not mi fantasía es muy mal. Es comprar tu es the reality of something. Reality is my basis of a fantasy, and I have to get my affairs in order sometimes whenever I'm thinking about someone in fantasy mode. Like if I think about someone in a fantastical way, like when I admire someone or think that they're the person for me, or when I stare like longingly into a woman's eyes,
Hey, you got off lucky.
I think about things, and those things usually aren't the things that they're thinking. Sometimes they're usually thinking about something else, and I realize that, or maybe they're thinking about I don't know, some stuff, but just some, like, you know, I'm trying to communicate it with you, or to you. Mi fantasía es estúpido comprar tu es my reality. To my not to mi fantasía es estúpido comprar to my reality. So my fantasy is stupid compared to what reality is, and will never happen. So yeah, that's basically about people who like models like Katy Perry or Kate Upton or Shakira, or a lot of different models and singers, and a whole bunch of people that are really attractive to me. Alright, we're gonna see if I can actually get the jet.
Dispatch, we have a visual.
Suspect westbound on a motorcycle.
Helicopters.
Anybody have a visual? Charlie 4, this maggot is southbound.
Son of a bitch. I wanted to jump it. I wanted to jump the shark. I don't know the word for shark, but it's probably it probably transcends languages, I guess, maybe. But yeah, I've really kind of realized that through certain boundaries that I've given myself over my certain my admirations for people. I've realized that that
Wait a minute!
Damn.
all right, I will. Success. This is really great. Have a good day, man. But yeah, I've realized that that over time my my fantasies can kind of distort with the way that I actually look at a person, or they can distort the way that I actually see a person. And I realized that that person was just a figure in my head sometimes, or I realized that that was just what I thought of sometimes. I'm not really like buenos dias.
Man, fuck this shit.
Alright, man. Good night, man. Have a good day. And thank you for sticking with me for a little while. Alright, I need to get out and get another car. As long as you did. Yeah. I'm really... But yeah, I've realized that that over time the things that I've said have changed as far as my fantasies go, as far as my my boundaries go, and I've realized that that changes me as a person, I guess. And I don't still want to meet my heroes as much as I did, and just as much as I did, and he left. But most of the time, I gotta learn some more Spanish, because I'll learn some more Spanish, Kenneth. Thank you for mi habla this is more más español. Mi habla más español por tú, or something like that, I guess. Por tú mi habla español mucho, I guess. Over time, I guess. Over time. Alright, I will try to, and I'll try to learn more Spanish, because my last name does have sort of a Spanish twinge to it. But yeah, over time I've tried to build on my character, I guess, or build on what I actually believe is the right thing to start thinking about, and I've found that that a lot of times when I started thinking about myself in a certain light, I started not needing those fantasies, or needing those parts of other people to give me strength to go on. And then I realized through times of strife, I never really was actually thinking about any of them. And then I realized that that's the reason why, is because I never put any importance on those people. I put importance on what they did. I put importance on what they do, and how they do it. But I never put any importance on what they meant to me. And I think that's the reason why I have to say that I'm probably never gonna meet my heroes, because it's what they do that I like. They could have been forced into those certain situations. They could have been completely and utterly just made to look like any of those people that really wanted to do that job. They could have made their millions off of someone else's look, or someone else's life, or someone else's things. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or anything like that, because those people wanted to get out there, and because of those people, sometimes they were actually able to make it to superstardom sometimes, or other people were able to make it to superstardom as well, because of that market that opened up, that someone decided to open up. And and the tread, like, basically trailblazers are sometimes people who don't even want to do the job. They just want to be not just famous, but they want to be notarized. They want to be completely certified in something. And I guess that's what I kind of realized over time, is that I never really wanted to meet those people. I just wanted to be a part of what that industry was. I mean, I'm not saying that those people are bad or evil or anything like that, or mean or hurtful, just by me seeing them control their emotions on camera and in an artistic way express those emotions as they see fit. I just wanted to be a part of something, and I realized that I had a talent, and I do have a talent, and I want to be a part of that kind of experience, because it sits really well with me sometimes. It makes me it makes me it makes me see a different part of everything, and it helps me realize that through that fantasy I'd be able, or that interpretation of reality, I'd be able to make it on my own, you know? I'd be able to start building something, and I'd be able to start making something that I really wanted to build. And I'm not just talking about, like, talking about some people that I've seen on YouTube, or people that I've seen in the movies or something like that, but really making what I think is a difference, and that's getting people to see what I can do, because that's the difference that I think that I could make. And I really think that I could actually do something really, really well. And as soon as I learn all the tidbits and little different things and stuff like that, I really want to see myself I really want to see myself build on a not just myself, not myself really, but my work. I want to see what I can do on what is a billboard, or what is a person that I can make into I mean, I want to see what I can do, you know? And
You have
I know I can do really well.
airspace. Divert immediately.
God damn it. I found out that I had this talent, and I found out that I had this thing that I really wanted to make, and I have this idea, and I really think that it's a good idea. And I'm at an hour and 33 minutes, and I didn't even feel it, kind of, but I felt the fatigue, I guess. So whenever you're out there realizing your boundaries and the way that you actually build yourself, and the way that you actually build or push through a certain situation, and realize that you made the right choices and you do the right things, realize that you're making it, whoever you're making it for. If you're making it for that person and you don't like that stuff, if you don't like anything about it, then really try to. I've spent. I'm not saying that I spent a lot of times in certain things, and I'm certainly not old enough to actually say that I've had that much experience in it. But I'll have enough experience in life to be able to say that to say that that I know that what I don't like, and now I'm gonna start trying to find out what I do like. Yo soy comprende que es mal. Uh, Ahora yo soy what's the word? Yo soy comprende que es mal. Ahora yo I want to understand what's muy shit. What's now I want to figure out what's good, or what's good for me. And I realize a lot of times I build on so many things. Sometimes I build on what I really want to try to do something with, and I'm not trying to like say that, oh, because I say these things that people will actually like me when I'm not doing stuff. No, it's not anything. I'm not trying to make a following or anything like that. So it's cool that it gets subs and people that like me and stuff like that. That's cool, but I'm not completely looking for it. So nice. Thank you for listening, if you ever do. Thank you, KenNet, and thank you, people, for listening, if you ever do. And if this gets to anyone and they like it, or they think that I started something, or I am going along with someone's ideals, or anything like that, realize that people have boundaries, and realize that those boundaries can be quickly realized by asking them, saying what they're okay with, or saying what they're okay with at all. I mean, if they say that I don't know what I'm okay with, then you can walk away from the conversation and just be like, you know what? Well, I don't know what I'm okay with you, or with you, or just take it as hey, maybe it's not the right time in your life to be talking to me, or maybe it's not the right time in your life to be doing something with me. And don't take it as like as an insult when someone doesn't want to say hello, because maybe they're going through something, maybe they're doing something. Maybe I've had that happen to me so many times, and it's like maybe they're getting their mind ready for work, or maybe they're getting their mind ready for something that they really want to get accomplished. But and I really want to accomplish something that's really great, and I realize that there's a lot of stuff in the way sometimes, and thank you for listening, though, KenNet, and thank you for listening, people, if you ever do. Actually, there's another viewer. Yay. Let's keep on going. We're gonna get in this car, and we're gonna do something fun. I'm gonna talk about, let's see. Yeah, how you can build your own economy. Um, Realizing that it takes advertising and marketing to get into people's hearts. Realize you need a PR firm. Don't try to hire one of your friends that is in marketing and PR. Realize that you need a firm. And you need a good firm, so shop around. Realize that you need to be able to build on something that is just nothing. And damn it. I was trying to land it. That would have been so cool. But yeah, realize that you need a PR firm. You need someone that knows what they're doing and how they're doing it. And no matter what business you get into, if you're literally laying bricks for foundations, you still need a PR firm. You still need someone to be able to tell someone about you. And that person's job is going to be just that. Don't try to be that person. Don't try to say that, oh, I can make my own commercials. It's just like, hey, you know what? There's a guy that knows that if you put a little tiny bit of glaze of freaking makeup on your face, you look like you have pores instead of those red spots. Actually, no. I actually am not. I do not. I don't play that game. Sorry. I really don't. I played Call of Duty, and that's where I took that name from. It's because of the Bomb Squad.
My car, you damn moron!
I'm sorry, dude. And I hope life is better for you. See. In life, I didn't mean it about anything like by it. I said I hope you get more luck in your endeavors with people who are on YouTube playing mobile games. But yeah, I don't play mobile games very much, and I noticed that sometimes they can be a bit repetitive sometimes, but that's just me. All right, well. If alright, whatever. Let's just keep going. That's fun. Let's keep going. But yeah, by building your own economy, you can realize that that there are reasons why people compete, and the reasons why people will get in your face and say that you're not going to make it in this town, or you're not going to make it anywhere. But realize that those people can be held liable for those words. And if you find a lawyer, a person who, if those people,
We've got a civilian in need of assistance.
but also, if those words were ever like,
Damn, 5-0.
are you leaving, dude? But also too, it's like people think that hiring lawyers and PR firms and all those other different places are cheating. I guess it's cheating, but it's like don't you want a leg up sometimes on the competition sometimes? And I mean, I would. I don't know. That's just how I think sometimes. And a real leg up, like a legal leg up, not like a hey, I'm cheating sort of thing, you know. And yes, I did just jump that again. Play tennis. No, I gotta stop. I gotta stop playing, and I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, here we go. This is my big bang. Okay, I'm gonna do a big bang, and we're gonna I'm gonna do the first side. And that's it. God dang it! I just got all my guns taken away from me. Sons of bitches. Alright. I was gonna shoot that cop as soon as I was done with the gas, and then let's see, hold on 1 second. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Alright, I'm gonna go on the map. And I'm gonna go in, zoom in. I'm gonna go to... Okay. Go to this. Alright.
My car, you damn moron!
Alright, yeah, let's go out like with a bang. This is fun. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about some stuff, but there you go. There we go. Alright, I only have one sticky bomb, so I gotta make it count. Alright. Alright, there we go. Put it on the front of this car. Alright. And now we're gonna play bumper cars. Alright.
Alright, dog!
Alright. I know what to do. I know what to do. Here we go. Alright, we're going. We're going this way. And yeah, think about this. I'm gonna try to know more Spanish, I guess. So if you wanna start
Look out the way!
because I need to know more Spanish anyways.
Citizens reporting a pedestrian struck by a
Alright, here we
vehicle
go.
on,
Here we go. We're at the mouth of the whole thing. We're gonna go back in the tunnel on the other side, and I'm gonna see if I can. Here we go. I got this. Let's go. There we go.
That's what I'm up right here.
All right. What the fuck? Come on. Are you serious?
不可相信。
Are you serious? Alright, I'm gonna shoot this thing from far away, Zay. Oh man, I don't have any ammo. I gotta hit it with a machete. Here we go. There we go. We're gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up. Eventually it's gonna blow up.
Right.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the gas station. Take it. There we go. God dang it. Oh, god dang it. Alright, we're gonna go out with a bang. It's gonna be there we go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got it. God dang it. This thing won't freaking aim at the gosh darn thing. This car is really resilient. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see if I can actually run into oncoming traffic. There we go. Alright, nice. Thank you for staying with me as long as you did.
Hey, you got off lucky, homie. Oh, damn! Let's go.
Alright.
Man, sorry about that. Shit!
Alright. Here we go. Let's see here. Alright, but yeah, basically, you can build an economy out of nothing, and maybe in a lot of ways it seems as though there's not a whole bunch for it, and also get a security team too. Realize you're gonna need one. You need security, no matter what. You don't want to. You don't want to. You just need it. And I need to blow out my candle because it is oh. No matter what you're doing, you need one. Alright, so I'm gonna go run off to something. I'm gonna go in this parking lot and see if there are any cars available. Alright.
In sight, in pursuit.
We have a criminal resisting arrest near.
But yeah, realize that there are a lot of oh, that's a person.
Suspect last seen north of Del Perro shopping.
Realize that there are a lot of things you have to think about when you're creating yourself a brand, and I'm gonna start realizing that there are a lot of people in my way as far as me making my own brand. A lot of obstacles that if I do choose to do things on my own, people sometimes won't be happy, you know? So, and that's a long way down the line too, because, I mean, I might get a hold of some people, some nice people that I think promote my brand or promote what I think is what I want, or what I think and what I want for myself and my brand. There we go. And I'm gonna go upside down. There we go. That's how you create explosion and go out with bang. Thank you very much, and I'm out. It's at 1:54. Remember, if you, I don't even know. Remember, you can diffuse situations before they happen. You can be your own one-man bomb squad, and that's the reason why I like to do things like that. I can use this because, man, I just want to, and you know, I really do. I really do want to. I'm gonna head out now, and yep. You can defuse situations before they happen. You can defuse situations before they you can defuse situations before they happen, and by walking away most of the time. People would think I'm a tadpole, but I'm just not that much of invested in it. So, I mean, if I can just have a discussion with someone, then that's cool, and that's what I do with KenNet today. We just played tennis, or we didn't play tennis. I did not play tennis because I did not feel like it, because I'm tired, and that's what happens to people who get tired. I'm sorry, KenNet, and maybe next time. Maybe next time I will play tennis, and I'll probably get into tennis or something like that. Be your own one-man bomb squad, and defuse situations before they happen, and you can be, at least in your own eyes. And it sounds sad, it really does, but it's not. In your own eyes, you can be your own hero, and even if there aren't a lot of heroes to go around in your area. And I can tell that a lot of people don't have that sometimes. And what can be put into words, I guess, is don't sell yourself short. Don't ever think that just because there's a whole bunch of different money involved, or a whole bunch of different things involved, or a whole bunch of different stuff, that you won't be able to make it. And realize that if you do it on your own, do it to the way that you want to do it. And there's a lot of people that I haven't followed just simply because of that. But there are a lot of people that follow them now. And there's a lot of people that do like them because of the things that they actually do. And that's their opinion. Realize that people are going to have their opinions no matter what. And if they like you, then they're like you. But you don't have to force them. You don't have to make it into anything that's something that's what would seem I try to look up definitions before I actually start this stuff and actually get to say really meaningful words, but it never happens, and I wind up doing it because I think that it's fun, and yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna keep going.
It's just
Yeah.
a robbery, sweetheart. You insured.
I'm getting a second wind. No, I'm not. This is the last one I'm doing. Because I really need to go to bed.
Look out the way.
I find that the more you do stuff, the more you find that your niche. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find my niche. I'm trying to find what I'm good at. I'm trying to find how I'm good at it. The ways I'm good at it. I'm doing artwork, posting it to different platforms, not YouTube or anything like that, because I don't want people to steal my ideas that much. And for the most part, I don't think that for the most part, I don't think that people have, no matter if they do say one word of it, and if it does have one word on a title of a movie, I'll just do it later on when people forget about that movie. So that's pretty easily done. So. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go on a motorcycle, and we aren't going to rob anyone because we don't have any guns. So we're just going to go into oncoming traffic and hopefully... But yeah, realize that you are your own one-man bomb squad. You can defuse messed up situations before they happen. And you can also hopefully realize that you mean and matter to a lot of people. And before you make that decision to go into that bar or go to that party, I guess, no matter how old you are, because I still have those internal struggles sometimes, is whether or not I actually do want to go to a party and mix or be a certain person. That certain person is a party goer, or the person that I really think is something that I want to be, you know?
Citizens report.
Do you really want to be a certain person? That's all.
Del Perro Freeway.
And there's so many people out there that think that they're that certain person for that certain someone, or that certain anything. And with boundaries comes the risk of losing all boundaries, or all connection with a certain person. Also realize that it's like I don't admire my heroes. I admire what they do. I don't admire my heroes, I admire what they do. Because some of them have certain relationships that I probably wouldn't even like. Some people wouldn't be my friends. Most of them wouldn't even give me a second look. Because they don't care. But the point is, I like what they do. It doesn't mean I like them. And that's gonna, and I'm so afraid that that's gonna actually happen for certain people that I really don't want that to happen to. When I start to realize that pretty much everybody's selfish, and I don't want that to happen, because I really want there to be someone out there that can actually change that about me. I have faith in myself that I can find that person before, not time runs out, but before I start to get too about myself, that I start actually thinking about questions and different things that mean stuff to me, and that are in my own internal struggle.
Man, I'm sorry, fool.
That's right, glitched out of the freaking car. Tightness. There we go. Alright, see if we can jump into the water. So we can't go out with a bang, we'll go out with a splash. And I'm not using a helmet because safety is first. But sometimes it's a video game. Alright, Alright, there we go. No, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up. dang it. Okay, gotta walk all the way around and jump up and. But yeah, that's the reason why I don't meet my heroes, and I don't like to know about their lives and all their funny quips, and because if it starts to look like a sitcom to me, I will literally stop watching it. If it starts to look too much like a sitcom or like their answers or anything, I'll start scrutinizing the shit out of it. And I don't want to do that to certain people. I don't want to. I really don't. I will scrutinize the ever-living shit out of everything. It's all I do. I overanalyze, and it's literally my job to make sure that I'm not being thwarted or bamboozled or any of that bullshit that people come up with. I'm not being fooled, basically, into thinking that my hero or the person that I admire is just a person that... And we're going in the water. There we go, we jumped in the water. Went in with a splash. That's it. That's it. We're gonna go on to... Is that a jet ski? Or a boat? No, that's a sand dune. Or a rock. But yeah, realize that if I admire you in some way, shape, or form, or have not masturbated to you in my own certain way or anything like that, I have a certain pinpointed personality look that basically I've not really known you for, but I basically put that in my own head, and I'm trying to find a person who exudes those or exuberates or fills out those qualities in my book, in my own persona, or maybe plays on my persona very well because we both like the same kind of stuff, or we both have our own hobbies or anything like that. That's really cool and that's awesome. That's what I'm looking for. And people would say that they're a big personality or something like that, but it just means that they like to flaunt things. And that's not entirely all the time of what I'm about. So realize I know that there's boundaries, and I know that there's ways that people want to completely push themselves and make themselves, but know that I've left fanfares for that. I've left fanfares because of certain people who want a certain number of people to get their signature and their photo op and their things like that. It's just, it's not that it doesn't sit well with me, and people do that. People go and do what they want to do and stuff like that, but just realize and sit and stop and stare that celebrity, not back in the day, celebrity at all, used to be, hey, yeah, I'll take pictures with you, that's cool, because I am pushing forth an idea about myself, because that makes me money. That basically keeps me in movies and film. Going out and creating that groundswell is what keeps people coming back to see me in movies and theaters all day long. But somehow that became a job. The job that you make money with, you want to make money doing the job that gets you money. That in itself is a question that I have always asked myself. And within those confines, I don't understand why people even think that they could actually do that. Like, charge someone to be able to create groundswell for them. It just doesn't sit well with me. That's all. People want to say time's up. There was no time to begin with. Because people started making themselves a commodity instead of making themselves a reputation for something that they do, and realized that people don't just like the person. People like what you do. You know? I like what people do. I like the things that they do, how they do it, the way they do it. If they do it wrong, I criticize them for it, and that's what I do. Because I'm a fan, and that's what fans do. But the moment that I think that something looks kind of strange or practiced or anything like that, like it's lacking in candid emotion, that's when I'm stepping out of the door. In a relationship or in any other thing. When I don't see the person enjoying themselves, when I don't see that person enjoying exactly what they do and trying to look at it as if they were making a sandwich at Quiznos or any other sandwich place. Because when you start to make a sandwich, you either love making the sandwich or you don't love making the sandwich. And most people don't love making the sandwich. Unless they own the goddamn building. Or they know the guy that does. So, everything's relative, in my own opinion, and everything can possibly be misconstrued or strewn about and to make it seem like I'm saying something that I'm not saying. But I really think that sometimes when you make groundswell, or when you think you're making groundswell, you're investing in those people. You're investing in those people to be able to make you a better person. Or to be able to say that, oh my God, that's the only time he's ever signed that whole thing like that. You could buy that signature off that person for like $300, then sell it for $25,000 and give it to a charity. Oh my God, money made. Are you serious? People themselves don't realize if they're making themselves a commodity, then they could make themselves literally look like a goddamn saint. And if and then those certain senses realize that certain people become like nuanced ambassadors to different places and different things, and in some cases can change the way people see the world, unless you want to go see Kim Jong-il or Kim Jong-un and just chill with them for like a couple of minutes and be like, oh, you know, the way you're doing stuff is not the way you're supposed to be doing it. It's like, no, that's not how the way you influence people. That you get their attention by not being around them. You get their attention by not wanting to be like, you know what, I'm done with this stuff. I'm done with all this bullshit, because everyone just keeps acting like they're a celebrity. And everyone does. Even the people in it's dumb. It's dumb. Even Obama, even anyone, was just acting like they're making up something that someone else is going to follow down the line a long time from now. Even though they're not setting the ground rules and being able to say that maybe those ground rules themselves are just dumb. Maybe those traditions don't need to happen. Maybe those traditions down the road, 30 years down the road, are going to look like completely something else that's different. And people will know the times and the way that they actually looked. And if you talk to a certain person, like talk to an older person to say, hey, this is the way that things were, or this is the way that people actually thought about those things back then, instead of looking at a series or a documentary or anything, looking at a certain person's individual experience is way more in-depth. The more people start sharing their stories and sharing what they actually believe about themselves or what they actually think about the rest of the world sometimes, the more they'll start to realize that we could have started making our own economy and started charging our government to be able to be a part of that economy. Like, the more we started, we could actually be a part of our own, of ourselves, and realize that, you know what, it's a lot easier to be a part of yourself than to be a part of something that you don't like. And if you don't like it, change it, because that's what it's there for. It's there to be changed. That's why they're called amendments. They're not called sitting down or doing something. It's called stand up the entire time and make a bill, or get some signatures. Or hey, if you have a poll in a freaking football field, then get some signatures. Get some people to talk about something. I'm not angry and I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed. Because people have so much to change. People have so much that they want to change, or that they have to change. But the people aren't doing that. They're making deals, and oh, this guy's gonna put us streamlined into the Senate. We're gonna always have a voice. No, you already have a voice, not being a part of anything. You are the people. Be the people who change things. Get the signatures. Get together. Do the paperwork. It's work. It's for a purpose. Trust me. I know it. I know it. Just believe me. Just believe me on that part. It wasn't meant to make you feel insecure. It wasn't meant to make you feel bad about yourself. It wasn't meant to make you feel anything. It was meant to make sure that the people who try to fuck over anyone when they're in a seat of power, to make sure that those people have a sheet of paper of the amount of people who don't fucking like them. It's to make sure that those people who think that they own the government, or think that they own the amazingness that is the world, they think that they're the exhuming power that basically pushes and pulls whenever they feel like it, to get those people away from those seats of power, to make sure that they can never do that shit ever again. That's the sheet of paper that will make them look at themselves and be like, I can't fucking live with myself with this many people fucking hating me. Or they'll try to laugh at it and then just flaunt it off like it's nothing. But it will still be there, because there will be 20 to 30 copies of them reminding them that they're fucking retarded. And no matter who that person is, no matter how that person is, no matter how many people try to say that they're going to be the next celebrity fucking president, realize that ever since Nixon, people have wanted to be president so they could literally push their own companies. Every single time. Ever since Nixon. It's annoying as shit, it's dumb as hell, and it pisses me off. It really makes me angry. Ever since Nixon. Nixon was like, I'm gonna put my iron foot down, and no one really realizes that they could put their foot down and cause a lot more ripples in the sand or water or anything like that. And realize also that immigrants have a say-so too. Because we're all immigrants. Realize that you can change stuff if you get enough signatures of people who are actually here, that actually do want you here. So be yourself, and how's it going? Amarat Kateb? Katoeb? Or I don't know how to pronounce your name, but okay. Realize that that you can change things, and the more that I see that I can change something in someone else's place or someone else's thing or someone else's world, or make them see that there's an actual way out or a way in, depending upon the situation, the less I actually think about my heroes, or the less I actually think about those people who just sit there and say, I'm ballin', and that's cool. It's like, that's cool, but what are you doing with that ballin'? What are you doing with all that stuff that you do? Be there for someone so someone else can be there for themselves, or be there for someone else as well, and it will cause a ripple that no one else has any idea about, and it will cause way better sympathy than anyone could have for any Columbine or terrible thing that happened. And realize that will change the minds of people who have been wanting peace for a very long time. This is Joe Bomb Squad, and these are my game therapy rants. I got a soapbox, I'm gonna use it. You have a good day.